Hi guys, it's Kasha, and today I'm going to talk about the topic that a lot of people ask me about, and I've made a similar video about this before, but since there is an upcoming event, I'm going to talk about it again. So there is an upcoming Twice BDZ Arena Tour, 2 last stops. There's 3 stops in Kobe and then 2 last stops in Tokyo. And the event that I wanted to talk about is the BDZ Hi Touch event. So I've been getting a lot of questions on how to participate in the BDZ Hi Touch and what do you need to bring, how to register and stuff, and so I decided to make a video about this. Hope it helps you guys and hopefully we can see each other at the Hi Touch. So first thing that you actually have to do to participate in the Hi Touch is purchasing the BDZ album. It can be any version, can be the Once Fan Club version, can be regular version, can be B or A version, any version, as long as it says Shoukai Gente version. It means that is the first press limited version, which includes the photo card. Other versions that don't have this kind of sticker placed on it, they don't include any kind of photo card, so you're going to end up without a group card and you're not going to get a solo card. So after purchasing the BDZ album, you have to make sure that in your album you have a solo member card. This is how it looks like. So you're looking for a solo member card like this one. This is Momo's card. But if you get a group card, unfortunately, it doesn't allow you to enter the Hi Touch. So basically, if it's a group card, it means you failed, and if it's a solo member card, any of the 9 members of Twice, it means that you are able to participate in the Hi Touch. Previously, for the hashtag Twice and Wake Me Up albums, you had to register with a serial code that you found in your CDs, but this time you don't need any registration prior to participation in the Hi Touch. You only need the Hi Touch card. So this is actually made really easy to participate, so you only need the Hi Touch card. And if you still don't have the Hi Touch card but you happen to be in Japan, in Tokyo at the time of the Hi Touch, you can still purchase the albums at the venue of the Hi Touch, so you can still try your chances in getting into the Hi Touch, getting the Hi Touch card. So one solo member card entitles you to 1 Hi Touch with this member that you have on the card. You can't choose your members, but you can exchange your cards with some people at the venue. And actually a lot of people do that. They usually go around with the boards or basically with the cards up, and they're looking for exchanges. So it's actually really easy to exchange photo cards at the day of the event if you don't manage to get your bias. But also there's sort of like an official ranking of the cards. So for example, Momo and Sana are the most popular members at the moment, so they're kind of like of the highest value. So it would be really difficult to exchange Momo's photo card for Jihyo, Chaeyoung or Nayeon. Like it's possible, but it's very difficult to do so. So I don't recommend looking for exchanges like that. I think for Momo, like 2 cards of Jihyo, 2 cards of Chaeyoung, 2 cards of Nayeon would be good. But of course you can try, and I know a lot of people that are really nice and they just like, for example, they're Jihyo fans and they really want to exchange their Momo card for 1 Jihyo. So I know a lot of people doing that and it's really great. But some people request like 2 for 1 exchanges, which are, well, they're not so good if you're the one that has to exchange 2 cards for your bias card. I had to do that a couple of times. I had to exchange like 2 Nayeon cards for my chosen members. So well, it's difficult, but if I really want to have a Hi Touch with my favorite member, and I have to obviously do that. So the Hi Touch is happening on the 20th of October in Makuhari Messe, the whole 5 and 6. So before you attend the Hi Touch, you can't just enter with your card. You actually have to show your card that you actually have the participation card in exchange for the participation ticket. And you just have to show your card. They will put a little hole at the bottom. That's why you have this kind of thing here. The Hi Touch itself starts at 1 p.m. So you can start Hi Touching from 1 p.m. but they don't really say when the Hi Touch will end, and usually the Hi Touch ends when there's no longer any people in the queue for the members. So I would say like there's not many people for GQ, so you have to rush kinda. And I always try to keep up her line, like I always know that there are people coming and I just don't want them to stop the line. So just in case, I like kinda go slowly and like I'm showing, okay, I'm still going, like I'm gonna hide at GQ right now. And Momo's line is actually quite long, so I always try to be like the last person to high touch Momo, because then I can kind of have more time with her. So before you actually go to high touch, you have to exchange your card for the participation ticket. It will happen in the hall number 7. It's right beside hall number 6 or hall number 5, but you have to follow the signs for the entrance. Sometimes there's no direct entrance like from the hall you see. Sometimes you have to go like downstairs and like follow the signs, so you should basically ask the staff. The exchange of the tickets for high touch happens from 10:30 until 5:30 p.m. But as I said before, the high touch really finishes when there is no people in the queue for the members. I wouldn't stay until the very end of the high touch. I wouldn't like push it, but like just try to be on time, and well, you can still make it if you get there real late. Usually at your participation ticket for the high touch, you have a time written that you have to gather at the entrance, so I would advise you to follow that, because sometimes they may not let you in. And now there's some rules that you have to follow during the high touch, like you can't really film during the performance of the Twice, and you can't have a recording of a voice. Actually I tried to do that before, but the recording wasn't working. So, and also you can't have anything on your fingers, like any jewelry. You can't have anything on your wrist as well. Like I always have to take out this bracelet. They always tell me to take it out just in case it may be some kind of danger to them. Although like Chaeyoung always has lots of rings and she has lots of bracelets on her wrist for some reason, and that's not dangerous to me. Another thing is that you cannot give Twice any gifts or letters. This is forbidden. Like generally you can't have anything in your hand. This is just for safety reasons, because there were some incidents before during like the high touch or handshake events with some idols, and I guess they just don't want to risk it. The tip that I can give you for the high touch events, since I've been to quite a lot of them, is to bring water. This is very important, because you're going to spend a lot of time waiting in queues, and I really mean it. Like I think I spent around well 3 hours in waiting for the exchange of high touch ticket, and then I spent I think 1 hour only for one high touch with Momo, because she's so popular. And I think once it starts, once the high touch starts, it really goes faster and faster. Like they don't give you really that much time, but it can get like sometimes you have to wait. Like they have like a bathroom break or a lunch break, you have to wait for them. So like up to 1 hour even you have to stand in the queue. When you're inside the high touch hall already, you have to wait for them. Like they have a break or something, you just have to wait for them. If you're planning to buy goods at the day of the high touch, since there's only one day, I'm not sure if there's going to be pre-sale of goods. If there's going to be pre-sale of goods, then it's not going to be that bad. But I remember during Candy Pop high touch event, there was no pre-sale of goods, and there was only one day of high touch, so everyone was queuing for goods, and I didn't queue that day because there was nothing that I was interested in. I didn't even bother queuing for the goods. But I know people that were queuing, and they came at 5 or 6 a.m. and they were queuing for like 6 or 7 hours, and they still didn't manage to buy some stuff because they were sold out. So if you are planning to buy some goods, I advise you to come really early, unless there's a pre-sale, of course. If there is a pre-sale, then go to a pre-sale. It's always safer that they're not going to be sold out. Another tip is that if you buy goods at Japanese events, they don't give you any bags, so you have to bring your own bag. So sometimes when they sell tote bags, you can just buy a tote bag, but well, they're kind of overpriced, right? What I recommend is just bringing your own big bag or your suitcase. You can easily leave it at the locker. There are a lot of lockers and Makuhari Messe where the event is happening, so you could leave it either on the station or at the venue. Yeah, but just don't bring it inside with you for the high touch, because they're probably not gonna allow you with it because it may pose danger for the artist. Lastly, I think it's best if you prepare what you want to say to Twice members, because sometimes people get overwhelmed and they forget what they want to say. I had a lot of times, like especially when I met Momo, and like just doing high touch, my mind went completely blank and I had just no idea what to say. So I usually was really weird, or I didn't say anything, or I just said some weird stuff like, oh sorry I made you wait, or something, like just plain weird stuff. And I know that a lot of people actually don't say anything, and I don't know if that's what they want to do, or they just forget what they want to say. The very last thing is that when you go to the event, I think this is kind of like, this is a common rule, but I know some Japanese fans don't keep it. So just in case you happen to be in the surroundings where everyone does this, just so you know, you don't do that. Don't leave your trash, just put it in the bag and take it home. Like usually Japanese take their trash home, so you should do it yourself. But I know some people do that, and in case like there's a lot of trash, the event might get cancelled as well. Also, like when you wait overnight for the goods sale and you are allowed, the event might also get cancelled. Like we got a threat like that for the Candy Pop High Touch, so I don't want to go through that again, because I couldn't really sleep because I was monitoring like what's the situation. Like I've seen people being like, oh I reported them to the police, like there's some so loud, and this is where once is reporting, once is the police, and they knew that the event might get cancelled. But still, this is unacceptable behavior, so like just be aware of it. Like just behave well, and just behave well so that the event doesn't get cancelled, and like follow the rules, all the rules, so you don't get thrown out. Have fun with the high touch, and if you happen to see me, then I'll be really happy to talk to you guys. Like you can always say hi to me, even if I'm recording, then whatever, you can just say hi to me. I'll be really happy, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the high touch, so hopefully see you at high touch. Bye.